I'll call this February 16th, 2023 regular school board meeting to order. Everybody would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Get a motion from the board to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll move to the board approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? All right, the first thing on the agenda is their educational feature.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Steele. At this time, what I would like to do is I'll turn it over to Mr. Mills. Eastern Elementary Middle School is here this afternoon to do the educational feature, so I'll turn it over to Mr. Mills and let him introduce who's here with him today from Eastern. Thanks, sir.
Good evening, folks. Thank you all for the opportunity to allow me to come to represent Eastern, our students and our teachers who are here with us today. Just want to let you know our students will be doing this presentation. They created it and they will be speaking on it start to finish. That includes my introduction, which I will read to you now. Good afternoon. With us today are the current officers of our Help Save the Next Girl Club. We started this chapter of the club at Eastern pre-COVID, but like many other things, we had to put it on hold for a little while. This year, we were lucky enough to get it back and running. We are so thrilled to be able to help spread awareness at our school and now with you. Now I'll hand it over to our 2022-23 officers, and I would like to add that we were the first, Eastern was the first Help Save the Next Girl at any middle school. So this was the very first one, okay? And at this time, I'll turn it over to our students.
Help save the next girl, whatever it takes for as long as it takes. Here are our 2022 to 2023 officers, co-presidents, me, Macy Miller, Kaylee Lane.
I'm the Vice President, Meredith Lucas.
I'm the reporter, Nina Little. I'm the secretary, Randy Campos.
Advisors, Miss Sarah Woods, Miss Beth Sparks, and Miss Grogan Bradley. Help Save the Next Girl is a national nonprofit organization formed in honor of Morgan Dennon Harrington, a 20-year-old Virginia Tech student who was abducted and murdered in 2009. We seek to bring awareness to young women and girls of the predatory danger.
In 2009, Morgan Harrington was a 20-year-old female who went to Virginia Tech studying education. On October 17, 2009, Morgan was going to a Metallica concert at John Paul Jones Arena in Charlottesville. She was really excited, as anyone would be. She put her tickets on her refrigerator 6 months prior. She tried on 3 different outfits before deciding on a black t-shirt in tan letters that spelled out Pantera with a crystal necklace. At some point during the concert, Morgan left to go to the bathroom alone without her keys, without her ticket, and without her jacket. When she did not return, her friends called her and she said that she was outside and couldn't get back inside because of the stadium strict no re-entry. Restrooms were inside, so it's really weird that she was outside if they were inside. Bystanders said that they saw her fall and hit her head, and when she got back up, there was blood on her face.
It's possible that day, disoriented and confused from the fall, she went out the front doors of the John Paul Jones Arena and sat back with her group of friends. It was a cold, drizzly night. Morgan wandered alone, disoriented and cold, for 40 minutes. People in the parking lot of the arena reported seeing Morgan wandering the parking lot, staggering and bleeding. They did not stop because they assumed she was inebriated. In truth, she had not consumed any drugs or alcohol and was likely suffering from a concussion. Morgan was last seen attempting to hitchhike or hail a cab in the Copley Road Bridge in Charlottesville, Virginia.
No one stopped to offer help. No one, that is, except for the man who killed her, Jesse Matthews, a serial rapist, a predator, and murderer, just happened to be in the area that night and picked her up. She must have been so relieved.
101 days after her abduction, a farmer found Morgan's skeletonized remains in a remote pasture about 10 miles from the concert venue.
Morgan Harrington's abduction and murder prompted the beginning of Help Save the Next Girl. Her parents created it. Our mission is to ensure that tragedies like this never happen to anyone again.
So 241 is a little fun thing that Morgan and her parents would say to each other. It means love me too much, forever, and one more time. And the dots on her hands symbolize 2, 4, and 1. This video was made by the National Help Save the Next Girl.
I will always trust my inner voice. If it makes me feel uncomfortable or nervous, I will say no. I will say no.
I will love myself enough to ask for help.
I am strong, smart, and trust my instincts.
I will call someone I trust when I am in trouble.
I will always carry my cell phone.
I will never let a friend leave an abandoned.
I will check on friends when I haven't heard from them.
I will always use the buddy system.
We will help
We
save
will
the
not
next
become
girl.
a statistic.
We will help save the next girl.
Buddy up, stay together, stay safe. It's one of our #1 rules in Help Save the Next Girl, because safety is numbers.
This is some of the things we did in the past for Help Save the Next Girl. We did a trunk or treat, we did bracelets, we did bookmarks, and we did posters. This is some of the posters we put up around the school listing words of encouragement. This is some decals we put in the bathroom of the 6th and 7th grade girls. This is our 2022 and 2023 group of girls and boys next to the Giles County Police Car. This is our first meeting of the year.
Investigator Amanda Cornwell got to come and speak to us on ways to stay safe during our second meeting. Dispatcher April Blankenship came for us to come up with fake scenarios and practice dialing 911 if there was an emergency that we needed to. Kaylee and I actually got to practice this, as you can see. Here's us with our resource officer, Bowman, and April Blankenship, and the whole Help Save the Next Girl group. This is our Help Save the Next Girl pledge. We invite you to please say it with us. I will always trust my instincts. If it makes me uncomfortable or nervous, I will say no. I will love myself enough to ask for help. I am strong, smart, and trust my instincts. I will call someone I trust when I am in trouble. I will always carry my cell phone. I will never let a friend leave me alone. I will check on friends if I haven't heard from them. I will always use the buddy system. I will not become a statistic. We will help save the next girl. If you have any questions, please let us know. If not, then thank you for your time. Thank you. I'll pass out stickers and pins, and the stickers you can put on your cars.
I just want to share, obviously, these are fantastic students.
Thank you, honey. Good job.
Group of them.
Thank you.
They're
Good
educators
job.
and not just young ladies. We have some
Thank you
gentlemen,
very much.
in the group as well.
Thank you very
They're
much.
meeting at least monthly, and they are going over skills like how to dial 911. Fortunately, I've never had to do that. And hopefully these students have not had to in case of an emergency. This is a great skill for them to have. And I also want to thank the teachers that are with them, Miss Bradley, Miss Sparks, and Miss Wood. This was their concept a few years ago. They heard about this, they wanted to start it, and they have built it from the ground up and done an excellent job, and we hope that will continue to build. As a father, I think that what they are learning, there's no comparison. All of our children need this. So really think it's a great program for our kids, for our school, and we were happy to share a little bit of it with you today. Okay, so thank you for allowing us that opportunity.
Get over here. Oops, get over here. Come on. I ran into you.
All right, on three. 1, 2, 3. And one in case case I messed up. 1, 2, 3. Very good.
Thank you, girls.
Thank
At this time, I would also, in recognition, February is designated as School Board Appreciation Month by VSBA, Virginia School Board Association. So at this time, Mr. Morris is here from the Board of Supervisors to present the board members with a certificate.
On behalf of the Giles County Board of Supervisors and myself, and hopefully the citizens that are within your school systems, I'd like to present these to you in appreciation for your service to the community. Start, Ms. Glenn.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Morris.
Thank you. Let's get these moving on forward. Use the plaque. Mr. Pennington, we didn't say the best plaque this time.
you. You did.
And Mr. Butler.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Steele, I get the right one.
Thank you.
Appreciate you also, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Morris. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Here's some more seats. Sit down.
You want pictures, Jeff?
No. You already taken one, you don't have one spot.
Maybe a slow news week this week. It may need to fill some.
They're right, two different arguments.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is the public comment period. Remind all of those signed up that members of this community are invited and encouraged to attend meetings of the Giles County School Board to observe its deliberations. Any member of the community may address the board on matters related to the Giles County Public Schools at any regular meeting as provided in the accompanying regulation BDDH-R. Persons wishing to address the school board are requested to contact the superintendent, the school board chair, or their designee for placement on the agenda. The chair is responsible for the orderly conduct of the meeting and rules on such matters as the appropriateness of the subject being presented and the length of time for such presentation. Upon recognition by the chair, the speaker shall address the chair, and if at the conclusion of the speaker's remarks, any member of the school board desires further information, the member addresses the speaker only with the permission of the chair. No one is allowed to make additional presentations until everyone who wishes to speak has an opportunity to make an initial presentation. As we have stated before, each presenter has 4 minutes. Please have practiced that before you come up so that we don't have to cut you off. Dr. Arbogast will be starting your time once you have finished giving your name and your address. So the first speaker we have on the list is Crystal Bogus.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Crystal Bogus, and I have resided in Giles County my entire life. Being a special educator for the last 20 years at both Giles High School and presently Naris High School allows me a unique perspective on the topic of consolidation. I stand in front of you today not because I want accolades or to leave a lasting legacy. I am here to advocate for my constituents, the students of Giles County. My one and only agenda for coming and meeting here today is to express to you that Giles County students deserve to receive the best educational experience possible while also leaving us with skills that are needed to be successful in the workplace and beyond. It's no secret our school board has never been required to command the attention of a room full of teenagers. If you had, you would know that teachers are tasked daily to model appropriate social skills, flexibility, transparency, collaboration, organization, and the ability to self-monitor our own behavior, even when we do not necessarily agree. Please remember our students are listening, they're watching, and they're expecting each of you to also model these same behaviors. However, currently they are witnessing people that condone bullying and lack self-control in high-stress situations. So it is clear that consolidation is not going to save a significant amount of money. It's not going to provide more educational opportunities. However, post-pandemic has revealed that the social emotional needs of our students are underdeveloped and are manifesting needs like never before. Imagine what would happen if we focused as much attention on the mental health of our students and staff as we do on the topic of consolidation. What if we spent that time outside of meetings or not using money to help navigate, not using money, but helping our students navigate their new normal. Our country, our state, and our school district is currently in the midst of a mental health crisis. So please ask yourselves, do you each want to be responsible for making yet another decision that takes away the stability these students feel within the comfort of their home schools? It is time to get real. We all know that Giles County Public Schools is not in a financial position to get a brand new state-of-the-art school building. Ironically, when you ask the stakeholders what they need, that the list includes improving teacher retention, professional development on ways to help students rebuild those social emotional skills, and a focus on hiring specialists so teachers can actually be in the classroom teaching. Students have shared that they feel ignored, they need more one-on-one help, and they actually need larger desks at the secondary level so they can actually be more comfortable and maximize learning. My current position demands that I think outside the box and offer possible solutions to a wide array of issues. So why not allow your Central Eastern end to create their middle school that they wish, and allow your Western end to determine if continuing to function like things are now, or if creating a middle school within NHS would best meet the needs of their stakeholders. This school division has already set a precedent that both high schools do not have to function identically. Statistics indicate that approximately 72% of high schools in the United States use some form of block scheduling. We have not forced Giles High School to move to this schedule because their constituents indicated that the majority wanted to remain on a 7-period day, even though their students earn 1 less high school credit per year. Why do we let Giles High School make this impactful choice, but we expect Narrows High School to be excited to lose the family atmosphere that makes our school so unique? So I am asking this board tonight to think outside the box. Do what these teachers have to do every day, because that is what our students deserve. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bogus. The next person signed up is Sarah Bowles.
Thank you. I would like to share with you some concerns I have in regards to the creation of the county middle school and the consolidation of the high schools. I ask again, what are your reasons? What is the problem you are trying to solve? We continue to expend valuable resources on a problem that has not been defined. As a parent and taxpayer, I ask again, what research have you done in regards to the benefits of a middle school? What localities have you visited? What research have you read? What educational experts have you consulted? To my knowledge, you have not even consulted your resident expert educators in our own county. Certainly, if you were developing a new firm, you wouldn't make a rash, uneducated decision about your new design without expert consultation. Why is this any different? Moreover, it seems the middle school model has garnered more support only after the complete closure of Narrows High School was no longer an option. I would hate to think our children's formative and pivotal years are being used as a bargaining chip. In our small county, we have the luxury of not having to have a middle school, contrary to some of the larger surrounding counties. We have the opportunity to cultivate meaning relationships with our students during a tumultuous time for many children. The mindset that small schools equate to small opportunities has to change. Instead of destroying a model that works, why not enhance what we have? While a new state-of-the-art middle school is not fiscally feasible for our county, not including STEM labs to save money is a travesty. That certainly isn't looking long-term and what is in best interest 10 years down the road. To quote a 2021 article, K through 8 or middle school, it's not at all about what grades are in the school building. It's about making sure the programs and practices are developmentally responsive to the needs of the young adolescent students. Why this push for consolidation? We have heard the emphasis on sports, but that cannot be the focus. Education has evolved, and COVID was a catalyst for much of the change. Any student in our county can take the plethora of courses that are offered virtually with some dual enrollment offered in person. This education trend is not just limited to smaller schools. If my child wants to take calculus, Latin, or American Sign Language, she can. We continue to focus on this top 25%. How are we catering to the other 75% of students? Again, small schools do not equate to small opportunity. Conversely, they equate to big investments that form relationships. Relationships matter. These big investments are what our children need, deserve, and they will benefit with academic success. It is the kid that needs the team more than the team needs her. The same kid that will no longer be part of the team if consolidation occurs. It is the kid that needs the extra push and sometimes pull across the finish line. These are the kids that will potentially fall through the cracks with consolidation. It is the kid that is a first-generation graduate, the kid that Larry Greer, Rick Franklin, and Dave Mabry taught and coached. The kid that was inspired and motivated to put himself through college, even if it took a little longer, to pursue teaching, coaching, and administration. The Larry Greer that traveled 3.5 hours to celebrate this kid's marriage 10 years post-graduation. Relationships matter. We all have these stories, whether you were at Giles or Narrows or any small school. In this particular story, what may have seemed like a small investment from these educators has yielded dividends that are immeasurable. And I can tell you the wheels are still on. These big investments are what change the trajectory of students' lives. How do you want to be remembered? As a legacy of creating a problem or for fostering some more of these beautiful success stories? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bowles. The next speaker signed up is Gina Bowles.
Hello. First, I wanted to thank you all for giving me this opportunity to speak. I am a student at Narrows High School, and I come to you today because I feel compelled to share my unique perspective, as I am one of the few students in the county that has experienced firsthand a 6th through 8 middle school versus a K through 7 elementary middle school. My 6th grade year, I attended Rustburg Middle School. I remember the transition from elementary to middle school being one that I dreaded, and it caused some of my first feelings of anxiety. While a whole new school opened doors for new friendships, it also introduced some not so nice experiences. While bullying is inevitable in every middle school, between the two I attended, I feel it was much more prevalent at the 6 through 8 model. A research article from KQED about the differences in middle school models says K through 7 schools offer stability to young teens during a tumultuous time in their lives. The middle school years are already an awkward time for many, but especially that overweight 6th grade girl with the nerdy glasses who constantly felt the pressure to compare herself to the older 8th grade girls in the hallway, and I don't want that for my younger sisters. The NEMS model discourages this, and it just works. We all know the saying, you don't need to fix something that is not broken. There's comfort in knowing that I have never seen an unfamiliar face at school, especially not in my own class. I know firsthand that it's hard to know and build relationships with 200 plus of my own classmates. However, at NEMS and NHS, I have built relationships with my fellow classmates and the staff because of the small school setting and especially the sense of community. Time and time again, you have heard the emphasis on the sense of community in Narrows, and I do hope there's something similar at Giles, but it is difficult to dismiss the impact that it has on students' lives. It is our foundation for learning, building relationships, developing workplace readiness skills, and equipping us for our next big transition in life. The same article I mentioned before states, K through 8 schools promote strong relationships, not only between teachers and students, but also relationships between teachers and parents. In addition to this, at the larger middle school model, I had no feelings of security. The somewhat sheltered environment of NEMS provided me with feelings of safety and protection. Similarly, the environment at NEMS also revealed leadership skills. At NHS, I've held many leadership roles, whether it is clubs, sports, or student-related. I first experienced this at NEMS. After transferring, I quickly realized there were little eyes and ears on me, and they were watching and listening to me. Although the model limits interaction, I still felt compelled to act as a role model for the younger students when there was interaction. On a not-so-light note, I recently was diagnosed with an eye disease that resulted in the need for a 504 plan. The individualized focus on learning at NHS made this process way less overwhelming for someone that was having a hard time. Because of the relationships I have with my teachers, I was able to catch up on any work I missed because of my appointments. On many occasions, teachers would come in early or stay late to allow me to make up work and to teach me what I missed. I don't know that in a larger school I would get the same nurturing, individualized treatment, and I worry for students with more severe conditions. In June, I will be graduating with around 40 college credits, and I do not feel that attending a small high school has discounted me from any opportunities I could have received at a larger school. To conclude, there are pros and cons to both models, but in our communities, the current one clearly outweighs the others. I urge you to do your due diligence and reach out to those who have direct experiences. Again, I thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I hope that you may have gained insight to some of these problems from my experiences. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bowles. Now that was impactful. Good job. Next speaker signed up is Mr. John Mills.
I can't say hello in 4 minutes. I'll do my best. And condolences to you, sir.
Thank you.
For being our prayers and your family. I stand before you this afternoon in my most important role, and that's a grandfather. I've stayed on the periphery of this debacle on the consolidation of schools, even though I'm vehemently opposed to this move. I have done this for a couple of reasons. One, nothing I can say or do will influence your decision. And two, I'm confident that the Board of Supervisors and Chris McClarney will not fund an initiative that adversely impacts Nares or the Western District. There has been a recent event that has yanked me off the sidelines. Put me and Coach Pawpaw's Fresh, the kids of Nares High School, in the attempt to exercise their God-given rights as Americans, compiled a heartfelt and very sincere email desperately pleading to leave their school as is. Instead of being applauded for their efforts, they have been figuratively kicked in the teeth and ridiculed by school board chairs. Shame on you. I'll bet you a dime to a dollar that outside of Jason Buckland and possibly Melissa Gwynn, not a single voice of protest was offered by anybody in this entire organization. And shame on you. Remember, all it takes for bad things to happen is for good people to idly stand by. Also remember that a coward dies 1,000 deaths and a brave man dies but one. There is a hotter place in Hades for people who exhibit this type of behavior. If you haven't heard a word I've said until now, please listen carefully. I know some of you have utter disdain for the folks of the Western District, but don't mess with our kids and you anger the bull and you get the horn. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you, Mr. Mills. The next speaker signed up is Alicia Lane.
That's pretty close.
Well, come on up, but I know we have had your request during our retreat to extend your time, and we've tried to keep that consistent with everyone, but we talked up here beforehand, and if we can, we'd like to get you at our next work session to go over those results, but not limit it to 8 minutes and sit down. And we'll try to schedule that and see if we can get that done. But
it also gives us a chance to actually interact with you.
I would love that.
And so we'll talk about the scheduling of that work session at the end of this meeting and get you on that agenda.
Can I share any highlights right now?
I don't want you to water down what you want to present, but you can have 4 minutes to do as much as you want, and then the balance.
Because I want to share with you, but I also want to share back with the community.
Right. Just don't make me cut you off, please. But 4 minutes, and then you can have the work session.
I'm not here to make you look bad.
And then you can have the work session to give the balance.
I would love that.
Of whatever else.
I also have some recommendations and next steps that maybe we could collaborate on together.
Okay. And you start, and we'll start the 4 minutes.
All right. Thank you. So I'm one of the co-founders of ConsolidationNews.com, which is a resource for Giles County citizens to learn more about topics related to school consolidation. Our intention is to improve collaboration and transparency between the school board and our community members. We all have different points of view, but one thing that we all share in common is that you, our elected officials, make very important decisions that impact us. And so we will have the best outcomes for our students and communities if you can do your best job possible. So I'm hopeful that this information and any future collaboration supports you in doing your best possible job. So this past winter, we launched a survey to the public, and as of yesterday, we had 429 responses from parents, teachers, staff, students, and community residents. That sample size is probably on par with our target audience, which would be the number of households in Giles County that have a primary and direct concern with the school system. We had 3 top themes that kind of emerged from the survey results. One is that Giles County citizens are almost unanimous in their top priority, and you can probably guess what that is. It's student well-being. Anytime we asked anything related to classes, resources, or even student-teacher ratio, those things ranked as the most important. The second theme that emerged is that citizens feel like you're leaving them in the dark. They want more from you. They want more information. They want more communication. They want to be involved in a collaborative process. The third theme that emerged is that citizens want a holistic view. They understand that being in a small community, our infrastructure is tightly woven, and so you pull on one lever and it affects another. They understand that facilities are very important, but they want to understand the entire student experience. They want a plan that includes educational excellence and strong facilities. I don't know what the time is. Some other things that emerged, about 10% of the people specifically mentioned middle schools. They have very specific questions and interest in what a middle school could do for Giles County. There seems to also be a lot of misconceptions on the state of schools today, how schools operate, how they are funded, how decisions are made. And it seems that those misconceptions lead to assumptions and rumors, and probably some of the elevated emotions that come up on this topic. Residents, as you heard tonight from Jenna as well, they really appreciate the small schools and the extra support that students get in that environment. They also appreciate the community feeling and the overall well-being of their families and community life from having that small community. People that are in favor of consolidation, they seem to assume that it's coming with additional things. They think consolidation means a new building, or it means new technology, or it means new resources. So even with the advocates for consolidation, there are some misconceptions. So our next steps for consolidationnews.com, we're closing this survey. We're going to launch another one that's based on the 3 options you all have on the table. I would love to collaborate with you on that survey so that we can make sure that it's well-informed and not biased, and we can share the results with you as they come in. We're also going to continue to report on the school board meetings, and also to continue to encourage the public to be involved in the process in whatever way you make possible. I have copies of this initial report for you all. I don't have enough for everybody, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the last person we have signed up to speak is Ann Chambers.
Mr. Steele, I do want to offer you condolence for your ex-father-in-law. I too lost a family member last week, and unfortunately, time waits for no one. And though I'd like to be at home in bed crying, my feelings about this consolidation forced me to be here. I'd like to talk to you about economics, taxation, and a few other little things. The economics come in where you spend money. When I spend my money recklessly, I'm the one that has to pay for it. When you spend the county's money, obviously, it's still on my back and everybody else that pays taxes here in Giles County. And if you think that I don't get excited, you can ask my friend Jeff Morris, who is a member of the school board, and he can attest to you how many times I call him with questions that come up. I'd like to know, to me, if you do a study for a school system, one person should enter all the information, and if you enter the information correctly, all the answers stay the same. And so if you want a different answer, why do you go to someone else to ask it? To me, it's like doing a tax return. If you put the information in correctly and you owe $5,000 and you don't want to owe, then you go back and try to redo it. But the answer's still the same. You've got to pay the piper. So how many more times are we going to have these studies? And I understand they cost about $100,000. And if anyone is allowed to speak to me today, if you could please tell me how many more studies?
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think it's 75 that we've been charged by CRA.
And how many studies have we had?
If you count the DOE study in 2016, CRA being 2, and if ZMM is, then what our staff's putting together, this is the third.
Okay. You know, years ago, when some other gentlemen filled these chairs, I didn't always agree with every single word they said. I didn't, and they heard from me, but I respected them. I respected them for their opinion because they truly cared about the children and they put the children first. This rushed phase for consolidation, if you're going to have to do without items that these children desperately need, if you truly care about them, you want them to have all the studies that they can do, the labs or whatever. You don't want to push it in there just so you can have, well, I got consolidation. You know, you put those children first because their children are our future. Their children are who's going to run this country when we're dead and gone. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chambers, and thank all the speakers for signing up. We continue to urge the public to continue signing up and giving us feedback, as it helps us to understand what all the folks that we support are asking of us. Next item on the agenda, our approval of meeting minutes.
Consent items as well.
Oh, here we got it. Consent items, okay. Consent items to include meeting minutes, bills, payroll. Using new technology here, bear with me. Meeting minutes, bills, payroll, revenue expenditures, reports, appropriation requests, field trips, surplus items, and approval of consent items. Can I get a motion on that?
I move that we approve the consent items.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions? All those in favor? Dr. Arbogast?
Thanks, sir. This time I have some personnel items I need to ask the board to confirm. I need to ask the board to confirm the following supplemental contracts. Lindsay Miller, Giles High School Prom, Pam Malabad, Giles High School Mac, Math and Mac all around. Half Shane Dalton, Giles High School Yearbook, Babette Martin, Giles High School Math Department Head and Senior Class Co-Sponsor, Diana Blanton, Giles High School Mac all around, that's a half stipend, Mac Science Head, Department Head Science and Mac Head Coach, Luke Craig, Giles High School Prom, Randy Weddle, Giles High School Department Head Social Studies and Mac Social Studies, Melanie Atkins, Giles High School Department Head English and Mac English, and Andrew Frazier, Giles High School Senior Class Sponsor.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Need to ask the board to confirm the following athletic coaching contracts. Jeremy Hagerman, Giles High School Wrestling Assistant.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Need to ask the board to confirm the following volunteer agreements. Misty Wiley, Giles High School Choir, Brett Hart, Giles High School Choir, and Tanya Heights, Giles High School Choir.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Need to ask the board to confirm the following employment. Coda McLaughlin, long-term sub, moving to a contracted position there as high school history teacher, effective January 30th. Jordan Litton, long-term sub, moving to a contracted position as a special ed teacher at Macy, February 1st. Chelsea Haggerty, long-term sub, moving to a contracted position at Nares Elementary Middle School as an elementary teacher. Skylar Smith, teacher at Eastern Elementary Middle School. And Heather Matlock, Nares High School teacher assistant, effective January 30th.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Need to ask the board to approve the following resignation. Resignations. Savannah Bogus, School Board Office Executive Secretary, effective January 27th, and Amanda Spicer, Nares Elementary Middle School Cafeteria, effective February 24th.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
I need to ask the board at this time to approve the following bid. It's for copy paper for the 23-24 school year. It's IFB 2-2023. It's for purchase of 510 cases of paper. We received 3 proposals, so I'd ask the board to approve the IFB and award it to Liberty Paper.
Move that we approve the Liberty Paper bid.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
During the, I believe it was the last work session, we had a conversation about graduation and trying to plan for graduation for the end of the year, to allow the 2 high schools the opportunity to get the information out, to be able to get announcements, caps and gowns, et cetera, out. So I had a conversation with both principals. I spoke to Ms. Bogus at Giles High School. Giles High School would like to do graduation on June 1st. That's Thursday, June 1st. And Nares High School would like to do graduation on Sunday, June 4th.
We'll make that motion.
I'm gonna second that.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? I will let the public know we get a lot of requests from parents, the staff, folks who are instrumental in putting the graduations together, that we try to make this decision absolutely as soon as possible. We also work really hard to miss state track. In the past, that has been a major problem for the kids that are successful in that arena and have to choose between that and graduation. So you will notice that this is ahead of our graduation, and we realize that and know that there won't be any issue with the kids being able to walk. And we'll have some backup dates if we have to have those. But this is what the schools ask us, so we're moving on that for that reason.
I just have a hard time approving the graduation date a week before the end of school when we've still got the month of March to get through. If our last day is June 8th and we're getting out June 1st, graduation, but.
So talk to us a little bit, Dr. Arbogast, about how, let's just say a week of bad weather gives us five snow days.
What depends on whether we can make any of those days up or count them as virtual days. If they're all 5 days and we are not able to make them up as virtual days, we're gonna have to use our makeup days. We have one coming up that we won't be able to utilize on Monday, February 20th. So then that moves into March. So you have one day in March as a makeup day, and then you have the other 3 at the end of the school year.
So we have 4 total?
So you have 4 total remaining. If we get by the date in March, then we would have to add days because you're supposed to make up the first 5 days. if they're not counted as virtual days.
So how many days would we have to miss, including our makeup days before our seniors would not qualify to walk?
Well, you mean, you have to miss 4 days and not be able to count them as virtual to get those days counted.
So we got 4 makeup days and then we have virtual.
And you have virtual,
I'm just, when's the last makeup day? That's the only thing I'm concerned.
June,
Well, I mean, the last,
it's June, whatever that, 13th. Last day of school currently is June 8th. We have a makeup day on the 9th, 12th, and the 13th. So the last day could be the 13th. Now, the March makeup day is March 17th.
is that the last one between then and June?
That's the last one between now and June. Well, actually, I take that back, except Monday the 20th.
Well, assuming.
We'd have to, assuming nothing happens tomorrow.
So worst case, if we approve now and March is a disaster, and we've got a shift, and they've still got April, May, I don't know
What's gonna happen, as soon as the board approves June 1st and June 4th, the 2 high school principals and staff are gonna communicate to whoever, Life Touch, whoever it is, that they're doing the announcements through, and they're gonna start getting them printed with dates on them. So you're gonna end up having them. We are ahead of the game. Normally, we have not done this until March.
I mean, like I said, if we were setting it for June 8th and we're talking about, I wouldn't have a problem, but if you add an extra 4 days onto school, that bothers me, but I don't know.
Philip, you or Melissa, have any thoughts?
No. I mean, I was just, the principals had asked for it, and it's kind of, I mean, I know we've always been around kind of those dates, pretty similar to that, right, in the past?
Normally we've done it towards the end of the year, like at the end of the school day.
No, I mean, as far as graduation's kind of always been about that.
Oh, it's been somewhere in that neighborhood, the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, somewhere in that neighborhood.
I just didn't want to go through what we did last year with the state track meet, and I kind of thought we was,
State track meet scheduled June 2nd and 3rd, is what was shared with me, so.
And that's combined at JMU, right?
That is at JMU.
Mr. Buckland, is there anything else that can?
I said that's the only heartburn I've got about. I mean, I do want to give the schools what they want as far as graduation, but also have a little heartburn if we got 7 or 8 days of school after graduation.
Okay.
What's your recommendation, Dr. Arbogast?
My recommendation would be the high school, the school principals would have asked for this. My recommendation would be to try to proceed with what they've asked for to help them move along in the schedule, knowing that could be a problem if we do have significant snow.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
good discussion. Hey, we made a decision. We discussed something and made a decision. Yes.
I need, as you know, it was shared with you here recently from the Tech Center that would like to add a new program, EMT program. So at this time, I would ask that the board approve the EMT 1 and EMT 2 classes to be offered at the Tech Center.
I will make a motion
Offer the classes.
to approve those, EMT 1 and 2.
I'll gladly second. Go ahead. I'll gladly second that.
Got a motion and a second, any discussion? This is gonna be an awesome program, so really excited about it. Kudos to Kevin for working, put that together and bring it to us as a board. So good stuff. All those in favor?
If you're comfortable with me moving along, I'll keep on going unless you want.
Yes, sir.
And before I do this, I ought to, Mr. Steele, if you would join me, please. I failed to recognize our school board clerk earlier. Today, this week.
Glad you got to work with her all the.
This week is recognized as School Board Clerk Appreciation Week.
Oh, no.
So on behalf of the school board, myself, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Ms. Amanda Tickle for the work that she does for the school board, and for everybody here at the school board office. Thank you for everything that you do.
We really could not do this without her. She is,
No, I think you did.
she's awesome.
No.
She keeps us in line.
I'll reserve comment.
Doesn't she, Jason?
Yeah.
Thank you for taking full responsibility for forgetting.
Thank you, Amanda.
I had it written down, I just had to put it down later, so I figured I'd do it before I got to the end. Enrollment, I want to give an update on the enrollment. As of yesterday, February 15th, our enrollment was 2,193. That's 2,183 in person and 10 in-county virtual students. That is a decrease of 2 from the end of January. We also have 1,277 stride students, which gives us a total of 3,470 students. I'd like to take the opportunity to congratulate our spelling bee winners from each of our schools. Congratulations to Kaylee Duncan, Nares High School, Ian Pollock, Nares Elementary Middle, Cecil Black, Macy McClarity, Mason Price, Eastern Elementary Middle, and Joanna Jackson from Giles High School. Congratulations to each of them for that. And I'd also like to recognize and congratulate Mason Price from Eastern Elementary Middle School, who won the spelling bee in the 9th round. So congratulations to all of them. I also want to take the opportunity to thank Delegate Ballard for working with Macy and Eastern Elementary Middle School. They went on their 7th grade trip last week, and he was able to work with them and schedule the opportunity for them to get into the House of Delegates, get down on the floor, be introduced and that sort of thing. So it was a great opportunity for our students when they had their visit to Richmond. So I want to take the opportunity to thank him for that as well. Couple items from Giles High School. They had 14 students who participated in the District 7 All-District Concert a week or so ago. So congratulations to those students. I know Ms. Seacrest was excited and proud of those students. Also want to congratulate the choir students who participated in their All-District event this past Friday and Saturday. They had special congratulations to the following students who were selected for the All-State Chorus. Carly Bryant, Rachel Hart, Lauren Kubecki, Marissa Palmer, Olivia Ferguson, Autumn Bowles, Cameron Hansen, and Ian Grew. So congratulations to all of them. Those 8 students will represent Giles High School in Richmond April 27th through the 29th at the All-State Chorale event. And just to give you a little context, there are 24 delegates chosen for each district. We had 8 of the 24 chosen. So that says a lot for the program, for the students and the work that they've been putting in. And thank Mrs. Smith as well for her work with those students as well. So congratulations to them. We also have, Giles High School has 3 individuals qualified for the state wrestling tournament this weekend. Levi Sadler, Hayden Collins, and John Smith. So good luck to them as they move along. And Giles High School had Abby White, Addison Moy, Rachel Hart, and Skylar Clark that are competing in the state swim next Saturday as well. So good luck to them. Nares High School, want to congratulate the boys basketball team, regular season Pioneer District champions. Congratulations to them. Good luck to them. I believe they start playoffs tonight. in the district, and I think the girls do as well. So good luck to all of them as they move along. Yesterday, we received notification earlier in the week. Yesterday, February 15th, was designated as School Resource Officer Appreciation Day by the governor. So I wanted to take the opportunity to recognize our resource officers at each of our schools, thank them for the work that they do for our schools, with our school administration, with our students. They're a great addition and a part of the team at each of our sites, and we appreciate what they do each day. So congratulations. Appreciate that recognition for them as well. Giles Tech Center, just to give you an update there, Teamworks competition for the building trade students in the District Skills USA competition. They captured first place last Thursday. That's the second year in a row. That was in Roanoke, so congratulations to them and good luck to them as they move forward as well. I know they're excited, and I know Mr. McCroskey's very proud of them as well. Just a couple other items. I don't know, Ms. Gwen, if I'm going to take what you were going to share about Governor School. You want to share that?
No, you can go ahead.
I want to recognize some of our students who participated in the 2023 Science Consortium Awards for Governor School. For computer science, Hunter Miller received third place from Nares High School, the learning curve of coding. Landon Shepard from Nares High School under computer science as well, received second place, an alternative method to music genre classification. And I'll apologize to any of our students if I skip one of them. I'll apologize because I tried to go through and pick everyone I could out of here. So I'll apologize right off the bat. Consumer science, first place, Jordan Lucas from Giles High School. Will the rate of sexual violence and the resources a school provides for it influence your college decision? Under food science, second place, Nick Nista, Giles High School. Caloric value of McDonald's products through use of a bomb calorimeter. Food science, first place, Abby White, Giles High School. Does caffeine content influence what students consume? Under genetics, first place, Andrea Tawney, Nares High School. Repeat lengths of RS3 alleles associated with the rate of health-related risky behavior in young adults.
Can you explain what that means to us?
Ask Andrea to come explain that to us.
Might be a good educational feature next month.
Medicine and health sciences, honorable mention, Marissa Palmer, Giles High School, the effects of corrective eyewear on peripheral vision. Medicine and health sciences, second place, Hope Banks, Giles High School, overdose mortality rates and the correlation with poverty levels in populations of persons drawing from SSDI or SSI in West Virginia. First place under statistics. Eli Wiscarson, Giles High School, comparing Giles to other counties by location and population. Then these are some special awards that were received, research awards. Madison McGuire, Giles High School, preference of book covers. One, Mr. Buckland, I think that you may want to check in on as well. Research award, Mary Lambert from Giles High School, comparison of beef prices pre-COVID to 2022.
Talk to her.
Research award, Allison Clark, Giles High School, scientific reading comprehension and confidence scores on tests. So I think, and I'll apologize again, I think I got everybody, went through there and pulled everybody out of there, but I wanted to recognize those students because all the category place winners, they'll be invited to progress to the Blue Ridge Regional Highland Science Fair in March 3rd and 4th. And then they'll be able to, students will submit research papers to the Virginia Junior Science Academy if they win there as well. So good luck to them as they move forward.
They really are remarkable students. Yesterday, we had an all-day, well, not all day, but quite a lengthy thing with Governor's School, and 3 of ours spoke advocating for one location, and they really did an excellent job, didn't they, Dr. Arbogast?
Yes, ma'am.
They were so well-spoken, and you could tell they just spoke from their hearts, and then at the end of the day, it worked out. You know, they listened to the, we listened to the people, and that's, that's what happened. So they did a great job, but, and that's tough. I don't know if you're even involved or know a lot about Governor's School, but I tell you, kudos to those kids that go over there, do that, and so many of them do extracurricular activities, and it's impressive, because it is a lot of work, and they do a great job. And sometimes we kind of forget about them, but they really do. I'm awful proud of them, so kudos to them.
And just so everybody realizes, Governor's School, with that meeting yesterday, did vote, Governor's School Board did vote to hold, move Governor's School at New River Community College as the site for Governor's School moving in the next year.
So just if your kids are thinking about applying, if anyone's out there, they will be together, so you will preserve what I personally think is one of the best things about it is that community that they've got of
And it'll all be
motivated
in
kids.
person, no virtual split site, so that was a big concern for the kids. They wanted everything to be together in one location with no virtual at all. So it was good.
Thank you. And again, thanks to Mr. Mills, Ms. Wood, Ms. Bradley, Ms. Sparks for being here this evening with the students from Eastern Elementary Middle School for their presentation. I want to thank our board members for the work that you all do in recognition, and not just because of recognition of the School Board Appreciation Month, but thank you for what you do and the decisions you make and choices that we have facing us. I know are tough, but appreciate what you do and the time that you put into the positions. And Amanda, thank you as well again for the work that you do as a school board clerk. I'm done, Mr. Steele.
All right. Mr. Panikin, you have any board comments?
There's nothing left.
You go ahead.
Nothing left.
I got a whole notebook here. Y'all wanna go home anytime soon? Nah, I'm just kidding. I'd like to thank Dr. Arbogast, Ms. Mustang, and Mr. Brown for everything you do, and especially little Miss Amanda. Melissa was right, we couldn't do it without her. So, we'll brag on her when we can, which is try to all the time, but I'd like to thank Mr. Morris for coming and presenting us with the certificates. We appreciate that, him and all the board members of the county. Dr. Arbogast done went over most of these, but I'm gonna repeat them anyhow. But congratulations to Jimmy McCroskey's kids on their win at his trade school, Eastern Elementary, for being here doing their presentations. They done a great job. Mr. Ballard, the delegate, taking care of our elementary school kids in Richmond this week. Spelling bee winners, the Sarah Smith and her corral bunch, congratulations to them, the wrestling team for going to state, and the swim team. And like Dr. Arbogast, the resource officers, we couldn't do it without them. And the Nares High School basketball team, congratulations to them. And a special congratulations to Collier Pruitt. He scored his 1,000th point a couple weeks ago. Of course, he did it against us, but that's okay. But no, he's a good basketball player. From what I understand, he's a better football player. But congratulations to him, and just to ask the community, just be patient with us. We'll work through this, and no matter what happens, we all need to, whatever decision that we make, we need to band together. And like everybody says, it's all for our kids. And just appreciate everything you do, and thank you.
There's really not a lot else to say, but I kind of go over all that, so. But this past 2 weeks, we have had, it's my favorite thing to do. It's the school board, they call it the school board retreat. I still haven't figured out who would come up with that name. But I really do fuss about it, but it really is important, because our administrators get to come and they do get to brag on what's going on at their school. So it's nice to get to hear from them. And, you know, Lisa and Dr. Brown there did presentations today, and you really do learn a lot, but so I want to thank everybody. Our special ed did presentation, Ms. Tibbs, I don't think I'm forgetting about everybody, but everybody involved in the school system come and go over their concerns and what they're looking for and what they want. So I just thank all of them for taking the time to come sit before us and share from their heart, you know, what they really want and what they kind of expect, and I appreciate them all. So, and thank you, Dr. Arbogast and Dr. Brown and Ms. Mustang, for everything you do. I know we've really been giving you a lot to do, so I appreciate it. And of course, Amanda. And she really does feed us well.
Sometimes.
You can brag on our steak dinner we had today.
Taxpayers didn't pay for that, though. Just to be clear. Are you?
I'm done.
Okay, didn't want to cut off there. Again, I echo what everyone here said. Thanks to everybody that makes this thing go. Thank the three sitting up here, plus Amanda. I think you guys do a great job. Thanks for putting together the retreat. It's a long long 2-week process, but it's important to hear from our administrators, everybody running programs within our schools, and getting that face-to-face interaction that sometimes we don't get, and talking about issues that are important to them and their buildings or their programs. Want to, again, congratulate all the folks that Dr. Arbogast mentioned. Want to congratulations to Camden Newby for placing 3rd in the state geography bee Saturday in Richmond, and I guess gets to go to the national and international geography bee. That's pretty darn, that's awesome. I haven't participated in that years ago. I'm sure that's a difficult process and something to be very proud of for our students. Collier Pruitt, again, congratulations on that 1,000 points. He's a good kid, good athlete, but a real good kid. And again, congratulations on that honor. Back last month, I was, I guess it was end of January, went to the Mexican restaurant and I saw Miss Ralph, Donna Ralph, with a group of her students at the Mexican restaurant for lunch. I think it was the teacher work day. And I promised that I would give them some kudos. This was their TSA community service group. And in honor of the Martin Luther King Day of Community Service, Bryn Jones, Brooklyn Skidmore, Allison Buckland, and Athena Link, they planned and organized a supply drive and monetary collection for the Giles County Animal Shelter. They delivered a full van of dog food, cat food, leashes, and toys, along with $265.29. So, again, it was nice to see them out in the community by coincidence, but I promised Miss Ralph and the young ladies that we would they'd be recognized for that, and so hopefully we'll put it in the minutes.
Good job.
And before I forget, Mr. Steele, again, our prayers, all of us up here with you, and especially your girls and Michelle and all of them. So
He's trying to keep you from being able to talk right now. I appreciate that. I just got a few things. Melissa mentioned the budget meetings. They are the most important thing that we do. Sometimes maybe the only thing that we do that we don't make a little bit messy. And we appreciate all of the input from all of the staff that report to the administrators and give them details that they can present to us. It's the only way that we know what you really need to keep things going. And regardless of other conversations, we absolutely focus an enormous amount of time on that, because that budget is what we're stuck with for the entire year, the following year. So it is very important to us. I had a really positive conversation with Mr. Ballard, our delegate, about the positive possibility of having a 12% increase over the next 2 years in their budget. He says that he's not sure how that's going to come through with the Senate and the governor version, but that's good for us, because they're already seeing that they can't just hope that what we did last year, it sustains in the following years. And so without help from them, We absolutely can't go without providing some kind of increase each year. We get right back where we were, being so far behind compared to other regions. So he's fighting really hard for us to get that 12% spread over 12 years. 12% over 2 years. That's probably more.
You're right, Katie.
Katie's like,
She about fell out right there.
Katie's like,
12% over 2 years. And so he's really fighting for us on that front. Also letting the public know, and Alicia, is that right? Alicia, talked with Mr. Wilburn and the Board of Supervisors members from the Central and Eastern District. We will be having several public informational meetings with the folks from that part of the footprint. I mean, I'm hearing everything that everybody says at these meetings, but we're not getting a lot of feedback from the other end of the county, and really not as much from the central. And I don't mean to beat the bushes to try to get information that you all would think I would want to hear, but information for the entire county. There's 16,000 people in this county, and while people with houses and kids are important, they all pay property taxes way too close to Christmas every single year. So I think including you documenting some information so that we have data, which everybody asked me to continue to fight for data and not rush, but then they don't want multiple studies done. So I'm getting mixed signals on that to some extent. Nevertheless, we're working hard. I will reach out to the Facebook community and say that in response to the concerns about how things have gone from an optics standpoint, that it is my job as the chairman of this board to manage that, and I promise to do a better job to let the public have the thought that we are capable of doing a good job and show through actions that we are one team up here, maybe with different thoughts individually, but ultimately looking out for the kids. Some of the things that have happened, good, bad, or other, you could hire research assistants to come in and dig all you wanted. Bottom line is we need to show the community that we have it together, and the kids need to look up to us and know that we're adults and we should be the leaders that act accordingly. That is my job. I will take whatever responsibility people would like to lay on me for us not doing a better job of that, but emotions are high. They really are, and sometimes we let things get the best of us. I will end with my thanks to the 8 students who sent me individualized, personalized emails that were absolutely incredible and well thought out, and were responded to, I hope, within minutes, or at least a few minutes of them sending it to me, with a very thought out response, an offer to meet with them and to hear them out personally. So that doesn't make it on Facebook, and that's this guy. I will continue to respond immediately to any child who wants to give me their individual thoughts and tell me what their insight is. I'll tell you right now that of all the public comments that I've heard so far, this is me personally, that Miss Gina Bowles absolutely was the most incredible one that I've heard so far. That was impactful, and I'll make sure she knows that at least for me, came across that way. So that's all I got. We're still doing the best we can up here. I'm personally doing the best I can. Remember, I got kids. You can see Facebook. If you want to get after me, call me. Get me to come meet with you. I'm here. My number's out there. I want to hear from everybody. So thanks for being patient with us, and thanks for hearing me out.
I got Mark's duty today.
Go do it. Basketball game.
Dates, need dates.
Oh.
I'm taking over Mark's duty.
Okay. We got
First calendar, Alicia.
First, the March board meeting. Do we have any?
Board meeting will be normally scheduled on the 16th, March 16th, and I'm assuming you want to move that back to 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be
Thursday, March 16th will be the next school board meeting.
I won't be here the 6th to the 10th.
You're not going on vacation.
I'm bike with me.
Oh my gosh.
Do you want to do a work session on the 2nd? Since Mr. Bennett said he's out.
That's clear for me.
Week after.
I'm gonna be in Wheeling on March 2nd for my last hurrah basketball, so y'all can do it without me, it's fine. I mean, I don't mind. I mean, I'm not missing Maggie's game.
Sorry, Terry, my calendar's not acting right here. So what day are you talking about for the work session?
Second, be Thursday, March 2nd.
And you can't be here,
Yeah,
Melissa?
but it's okay. I can
What about the first?
watch it and listen to it.
Can you do it the first? Wednesday the first?
No, she actually plays Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay.
So we actually will be gone, and hopefully she plays on Saturday. It's fine, Stevie.
It's not. We got a lot
Well,
going
it will
on.
be, I can listen to it, or watch it.
You'll put us on mute.
About the 13th or 14th, because I feel like going forward, that's just 10 days.
Okay, yeah, what about that next week?
I can do the next week.
13th or 14th? That's a little close to the board meeting, but I don't know that would hinder staff ability to have agenda items ready to any extent. Is there something you're gonna need from us before that board meeting to vote on or talk about?
I don't know that there is.
Okay. 14th?
14th is good with me.
Yeah, 1 o'clock?
14th.
Tell us how you really feel, Lisa.
I thought we had the,
Yeah, that's in the morning at 9 o'clock, so that, 1 o'clock should be fine.
The 14th, 1 o'clock, the March work session.
but she's still good.
I'll try to get you in the front of that.
Put you on the beginning of the agenda, that way you don't have to be here all afternoon.
Okay, well, I'll watch it anyway.
And the 16th at 6 o'clock will be,
Next regular,
no, there's a Region 7
on the 15th.
board meeting. Oh, we're doing, that's
Virtual.
virtual.
That's
It's-
virtual academy at 6:30.
It's at 6:30, we'll just have to, they'll have a quorum.
Yeah,
They'll have a
they
quorum.
should.
All right, well, we'll
And I'll
set
need
that.
2 of you on March 1st, probably for the board of supervisors.
I think I'm back on track for that one.
So I'll shoot out.
Good day. Ms. Gwen, can you help us out?
Oh, yeah, I moved to adjourn.
Second.
A motion second, all those in favor? Unanimous.
Thank y'all, it's been a great, long day. Tired of seeing it.
Oh.
And hold on a minute. Is it-
An hour's 50 minutes.
Good, yeah.
Today.
Hi, Katie.
Thank you.